Hey, I wanted to, and it's late because I wanted to get like a real feel for the season. Because after that placement matches video, I would play occasionally, at least once a day, but most of the time it was just quick play. And after doing that, I'm blowing through matches. I'm having a much better time. And now that I've gotten higher up towards where I typically peak, towards where I typically finish the seasons, I figured now I would have a better understanding of how to do this. So if you haven't guessed, this guy is gonna make a tier list. Will it be bad? Probably. I mean, I play casually, so this is just from my casual experience how I feel about these characters. So, um, I'm gonna do tanks first. That's too much work. Okay. So, Strange. I'm gonna put him there. I mean, I still have success with Strange. I think he's good. He's just not. He's not like the other ones. He's not Emma. He's not Groot. He's not Mag. But he's not bad. He's surely not bad. Um, that being said, I think Groot's new buff is really good. Puts him at the top. I'm gonna do this because now that I'm thinking farther in advance, what I'm gonna do with this. Yeah. So I think Groot's new buff, making him unstoppable, is really good, but it does kind of slow down his playstyle a little bit because where in the past used to put down the Ironwood wall behind tanks, and now the supports and DPS have to burst through 800 health in order to save their tank. Your team could easily kill a tank or two tanks in that time. You're more often going to try and hide that wall because CC is very prevalent this season. There's so many characters as CC. If I ever try and play dive or play more aggressive, most of the time I just get CC'd into oblivion. Bucky, Emma. Oh my god, dude, there's so much in this game. CC creep is real as fuck, and so you kind of want to hide that wall so that way you don't get CC'd as much, which means you don't have it for offense, and you only have those two grass walls. He's still really good, especially now that he's not able to be CC'd most of the time that you're playing him. But because you have to play a little slower to get the full advantage of that, you don't have as many walls. I don't think he's as good. Cap, I think, is right there with Strange. He's probably better than Strange. He's good. He doesn't have a lot of damage, so he's like when I said, oh, I want more sustained dive. He is that. He's the sustained dive I talked about. The only problem is, in this game, damage and healing is so strong. Most of the time, if there's a cap on me or on my team, all I have to do is tank, or when I'm playing support or DPS, you just kind of back up a little bit, take care of the cap, and keep going. He doesn't really do much, but his ultimate is so good because the enhanced generation time, like, you'll play Cap Gambit and you almost always have ult. If there's a Cap or a Gambit on the enemy team, it can be such a slog because they always have ultimates. I don't think Hulk's very good. He just doesn't have any team ups to make him worth playing. Like, for Strange, you can play the Magic and the Scarlet team up. Like, they're not the best things, but it's something that's there. I think, yeah, I think he has good team ups. I think Groot has a good team up with Mantis and Loki. I don't think Hulk really has anything that makes him more viable. While his buff was really good, it's probably the most tame of the tank buffs that happened in this season. I just don't think he has it. At least not at my rank. Maybe all the good Hulk players have already moved on and I just can't do it. But you just kind of hit him with a CC or push him, and he has to run away because too many people look at him when he jumps the back line. So there's that. Mag, easy yes. You play aggressive, you play off. Sorry, you play aggressive, you play defensive, you're in a movable wall. Now you have a bubble for yourself and for your teammate. You no longer have to choose who you're saving. It is just crazy good all the time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, what are you gonna do about him? He's so good. He has that new team up with Gambit, and spoiler warning, but Gambit is really good. So what are you going to do? Gambit's always charging his ult, which means you always get to take out a support ult. He is so valuable. But people don't ban him, right? I think people don't ban him because you need him, right? Because if they play something, you gotta play Mag in response. There's a lot of things that they play that are really oppressive that you just kind of have to play Mag to deal with. So he's a necessary evil in this season. I think it's really interesting that he's probably the best or the second best tank in the game, and almost never gets banned. So next for the tanks, Penny. I'm putting Penny in B, below Strange. Um, you may have heard, I like Penny Parker. I think Penny Parker is probably my favorite hero in this game. It just makes sense to me. I like that idea of a lockdown hero. Her buff this season is very, very good. Makes Penny so incredibly good and annoying on maps that Penny was already good at. Didn't do much to make Penny good on maps that they weren't good on to begin with. But if you did that, like I've said it a few times, I think if you buff Penny in a way that makes her good on maps that she isn't good on already, then she's broken on the maps that she was already good on, and she's just really good in general. Because right now, Penny has a really good niche if you play triple tank, because just you can flank, you can shut off angles, you can shut off the point in convergence or domination. You can do so many things. You just get the freedom to run around, flank, do whatever you want, lock down wherever you want as Penny, especially if you have the especially if you have the rocket team up. So I think Penny's fine where they are. They're not meta, but you know, it's good. Now, Thor. I'm putting Thor in top of B. Let me do that. I think because I think Strange can be played in more scenarios than Cap. A lot of times Cap is gonna get countered or so even though Strange isn't as impactful, especially now that there's Gambit with his CC cleanse and there's so much CC in the game to stop him from ulting, I do think that he's more malleable than Cap. Cap is kind of like not played that often. At least in my rank, he's not played that often, and when he is, he's not really a big nuisance. So I think we're going to put him there. But I think Thor is good, and I know he's good on paper. I've seen him do really good when my friend plays. Sometimes he plays Thor, and he eats up. But there's a lot of times I'll get a Thor on my team, and they just don't do that good, or Thor on the enemy team, and they just can't keep up. And maybe it's just the comps that we were running those specific games, but I don't see him very often. And when I do, he either eats up or he doesn't. And that's all there is. Like, there's no real in-between with it. And so I just think I'm going to put him in B. Venom, I think that's A tier. Venom is so good. There's so many, like, dives in, has 2 health bars. So at the end of the day, they have 1,700 health, technically, because of their E. And then they can quick dive out, slam the front line, play on front line, get healing, and go right back in. And by the time that you get them low enough, they have their extra health bar again. I've seen Venoms go not dying. Like, I'll play Mag, and I'll die like 3 times in the game. Even if it's an easy sweep, maybe I die once. The Venom just doesn't die. Everyone on our team will have like 5 deaths, and Venom won't have any. They're just so mobile, so hard to kill. Their ult is incredibly strong, especially after that 30% healing reduction. I don't know why they ever changed it or got rid of it. I think Venom is just super, super strong right now. If I had to guess... Actually, I was going to say if I had to guess, I think they'll nerf him. But I think after this most recent patch that they're not going to be doing like nerfs to the top few tanks. They're just going to buff all the other tanks, because that's what they did in the last patch. Well, outside of the mag buff, they buffed pretty much every tank but Emma and Venom. So yeah, I think that's the route they're gonna go. I don't know. I think Venom is still really, really good, really strong, and can be really oppressive. So, I mean, he's not as malleable as Groot or Strange or anyone else that I put up here where they can be played into anything. Sometimes you just have to swap off Venom. But, like, he's so good. It's nasty, because you can play him into anything, but he's not really going to get the job done on everything. Unlike where, like, I think Cap, you can't really play him into some comps. You could play Venom there. And though you wouldn't be doing as good as you were if you were on, let's say, Mag or Emma, I still think he can be played in that, and it's going to be goated. And I think that's crazy. Speaking of Emma, we're going to rank the thing, and he's in last. And his buff was really good. Don't get me wrong, I like the thing buff, but at the end of the day, it does not help against anything, right? So giving your whole team, giving you everybody in a certain radius damage reduction is really good, except for the fact that they lowered the damage reduction. And then the vulnerability thing is really good too. That part I think is really good. His problem is he has a hard time keeping uptime on either the vulnerability or the damage reduction. And so let's look. Penny farms him. Adam can farm him. Hawkeye farms. Hela farms him. He farms him. That's an easy ult farm. That's an easy ult farm. These two obliterate him immediately. You just point and click. Also, as well, another just a big ass onk for you. Psylocke farms. He farms. Rocket can farm him. Squirrel Girl, Star Lord, Storm, Scarlet Witch, Buckeye, Buckeye, Bucky, Wolverine. There's so many characters in this game that just point and click and he drops dead. Every time I see someone pull out Thing, they're like, oh, it's last fight, everyone's going to be on cart, I can get the overhealth. And while that was a really good change and it makes him really good, he's still super farmable. If I'm on any tank that's not Mag, I would say. Mag probably struggles the most because he shoots the slowest. Unless I have a Gambit, then I just pop the team up. But if I'm on any tank that's not Mag, and if I am playing Mag and I don't have the team up, I just farm him. He just dies like instantly. No matter how much healing you put into him, he's just a brick wall that you shoot at and he goes down. And that's why I think he's so bad, because it didn't fix that problem. That was his only problem in my eyes. Literally, before his buffs, I thought, wow, Thing is good. He just, one, doesn't really do that much damage. Like, every tank in the game out-damages him by a long shot. And then two, well, you just point and click. You just look at him and shoot and he falls. He crumbles. I tried playing him in the first couple of days of the season because I pretty much only play him in quick match. I don't want to throw my competitive games. And, you know, I just fall and I crumble and I die instantly and like that. And it is what it is. There's not much you can do about that. On the other sense, Emma's the GOAT. Still really strong. I don't think there's anything you can do to nerf Emma without making Emma really, really bad. I think that's just something we have to live with, that Emma's going to be super oppressive. I think if anything, you get rid of her defensive abilities, because right now she's really good at W keying and like just out of position, diamond form, they're dead. Someone dives your backline, diamond form, they're dead. And then when that's not happening, farm your beam on a tank, and then look at someone else, that someone else is probably going to die because you have 100% on your beam. The only thing that's a lackluster about Emma right now is obviously they nerfed the diamond form, so there's an extra 3 seconds. They nerfed that a while ago, so like people have learned to play around it now. But the ult, that's the only thing that's kind of lackluster, because you can avoid it pretty easily with shields, corners, just turning around or shooting her. Sometimes I'll pop my ult and I'll go on an off angle to make sure that I can get all of them so they can't go around a wall without having to go to my team. Everyone just looks at me, I die instantly, and you know, it is what it is. I made space for my team, but now they're in a 5v6, so unless someone was able to capitalize off of it, it was for nothing. And I think that's actually fine. I think it's fine that Emma has a bad ultimate. Well, not bad, but a lackluster ultimate, because everything else in their kit is not a lackluster. Yeah, so that is my opinion on where all the tanks line up, and I'm looking at the video thing right here, and it's striking me that I'm yapping a lot, so I'm going to record this in multiple parts. That way you can only watch your opinions on whatever I think my opinions are on certain things. So that ends the tank segments. Wet Willy!